Well, hello everyone, I'm the reviewer. And did you know that my SARDIS, the studio and relative dimensioning, etc., needs a very special fuel? Patronage. So if you'd like to head over to www.patreon.com/LastAngryGeek, there are many ways you can subscribe to help me get my shows made. And in return, you'll get your name in the credits, signed Last Angry Geek merchandise, whoever that is, and why, you could even request me to review an episode of Doctor Who or the comic book episode of your choice. Although I'll hand that off to that Last Angry Geek fellow. So please, subscribe and help me get my shows made. And just for subscribing, everyone gets early access to my episodes. It's rather good, isn't it? Yes. Season's greetings! Well, post-season's greetings, everyone. Welcome back to You Know Who. I'm your host, the reviewer. And with me, as always, is my cameraman, Jamie. Jamie, I hope you don't mind us celebrating the holiday season a little late in the SARDIS. Considering how long it takes us to get these episodes out, any time we get a Christmas review done before July, I consider it a win. Such levity! Jamie, do you hear all the people at home laughing? No. That's right. Well, this is it, folks. Twice the doctors, but double the farewells. This is Doctor Who, Twice Upon a Time. Once, the Doctor was dying after defeating the Cybermen. 12 lives later, it happened again. The first Doctor leaves his companions, Ben and Polly, behind to go to his TARDIS, fighting off the impending regeneration. In the snow, he encounters a man also claiming to be the Doctor. 12 recognizes 1. This is the day of his first regeneration. 1 wants to know if he's a fellow Time Lord, come to take back the TARDIS he stole, but why doesn't 12 remember any of this? 1 has decided he doesn't want to regenerate. He'll live and die as himself. Both men, however, are mid-regeneration. They were dying, but now have their strength back, but it won't last. And if the first Doctor does die, then 12 lives of adventure and defeating monsters and saving the innocent will never happen, creating a massive paradox. Suddenly, the falling snow freezes in midair, and a confused World War I captain wanders up, looking for a doctor. In France in 1914, a British Army captain and a German soldier have each other at gunpoint. Neither wants to shoot, but is terrified the other will. There's a strange burst in the air, and the German freezes. The captain sees the rest of the battlefield is frozen. Then there's a strange sound behind him. He finds a slender glass humanoid facing away. It's female, and then he gasps. He has visions of a series of arches, and then finds himself among strangely colored lights, hearing "There's a timeline" error repeated over and over until he's dropped in the snow. A moment later, he comes upon the 2 doctors. Aye, so the second Doctor is in this. No, Jamie, he was referring to the 2 doctors, not the second Doctor. Oh, but the second Doctor was in the 2 doctors. No, but he's not one of the 2 doctors. The 2 doctors in this are the first Doctor and the 12th Doctor. That's not 2, that's 13. No, she's coming up. But, don't forget the War Doctor, because then you do have 13 Doctors. 13 Doctors? Now that's a crossover I'd like to see. I don't know. Third base! A light comes up behind them, and the Doctors see the Crystal Woman. But she quickly disappears. They head into the TARDIS, and the first Doctor is dumbstruck by the larger, more open interior. 12 explains this is his TARDIS. 12 shows 1 his regenerating hand, and the first Doctor finally allows himself to understand that 12 is his future self. But shouldn't he have become younger? They get the shocked captain of brandy. 1 explains that he's the Doctor, and 12 is his nurse. Older men, like women, do have their uses, although a shocked 12 tries to warn him against his ageism and sexism. And unfortunately, this is about as good as we're going to get from David Bradley. A fine actor reprising his sort of role as Bill Hartnell, playing the first Doctor from the TV movie An Adventure in Space and Time. However, the first Doctor is primarily used in this as a comedic device to show how backward 60s thinking was in terms of sexual equality. He's held up to show just how modern and forward-thinking the current Doctor is. And I suppose you snowflakes won't be happy until we all look the same and think the same thoughts. No, really, there's a blizzard outside the SARDIS, and I'm afraid the Great Intelligence is sending those evil snowflakes after us again. Oh, my giddy aunt! The TARDIS suddenly shudders as a series of cables lifted up into an alien vessel. The ship is blocking the TARDIS from dematerializing, and a voice invites them into the Chamber of the Dead. One leaves the TARDIS to confront them. We see the staircase and archways from the captain's vision. If they return the captain to them, they'll let the Doctor speak with her. Out of the shadows walks Bill Potts. 12 jumps out of the TARDIS and they hug. She knew he wasn't dead, but then reality sets in. How could she be here when she was a Cyberman? Bill died. If this is a trick, he won't like it. Bill explains how Heather rescued her, but blanks on where Heather is now or what happened after that. 12 thinks Bill is a duplicate and turns his back on her. The two doctors climb the staircase. They find a room full of advanced circuitry and time travel technology. One is further shocked by sonic sunglasses. The glass woman appears. They take what they need from the dead and then return them to the moment of their death. They are testimony. Do you swear on this copy of David Banks' Cybermen the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your full name?
Reviewer Troughton Epstein.
And isn't it true, Mr. Epstein, that on the day of December 4th, 2017, during your review of The Dr. Falls, you presented footage saying I, your loyal sidekick, was not to touch your Gundams, when in actuality, during your review of The Eaters of Light, you specifically said I was not to touch your Legos? Why did you perjure yourself, Mr. Epstein? Why?
I plead the fourth.
You have the right to be protected from unreasonable search and seizure?
Yes?
You win this round, reviewer. They were returning the captain to the moment of his death when an anomaly deposited him in the South Pole. 12 thinks testimony is a computer image, but 1 sees that her face is asymmetrical. She's at least based on a real person. The captain leaves the TARDIS. If testimony is willing to trade his life, which is about to end, for Bill's, then he's all for it. Bill doesn't want that. The real Bill would tell 12 what to do. Simple. Save the day, as always. He's going to figure out what testimony he wants from the dead, and if he doesn't like it, he's going to stop them. 1 wants 12 to stop boasting. He can't imagine becoming him, so testimony shows him his future. All the various battles and enemies. He is the Doctor of War. 1 is shocked. 12 releases the winch and they ride the TARDIS back down to Earth. The aliens reel it back in, but the group heads to the first Doctor's TARDIS. 1 knows Bill must have traveled with the Doctor. Yeah, and she misses it. Well, he knows 12 misses her. The TARDIS is filthy. Previously on Time Men. Big R, we're never going to get the Rolex account unless we come up with a new slogan.
I can't think of this mess in here.
Can't we get that sex object in the short skirt with the nice legs in here to clean things up? That's me. Oh, shut up. Since the glass woman is based on a real person, the Doctor hopes the TARDIS can find a match to her face. But since it's a relatively new TARDIS, all the data isn't there. The Doctor needs a bigger database, and we see the glass woman is watching, seemingly from Bill's perspective. The Doctor, the first one, and the Captain joke about women, but Bill has probably more experience with women than either of them. They land on a desolate planet, the weapon forges of Filengard. Here they can find the most comprehensive database of life forms in the universe. Except the owner of all that knowledge probably wants the Doctor dead. They see something moving, and a round tentacle creature leaps on the captain. They frighten it off, and 1 thinks it looks familiar. They take the captain back to the TARDIS, as 12 and Bill see more of these creatures scurrying around. He sends Bill back to the TARDIS as well. She knows 12 thinks she's a duplicate and not the real Bill. She may be real, she may not be. But on the off chance that she is, he will not put her life in danger again. This parallels the 12th Doctor's lines to Clara in his first episode, that he can't seem to see that she's real in the same way Clara couldn't see that he was still the Doctor after his regeneration. It's a nice little parallel between 12's last and first story. And while Bill Mackey's performance in this episode is fine, I don't feel there were any real strong emotional moments. This was perhaps brought on by the question of her genuine identity. It feels like old news bringing Bill back since we've already given her the perfect send-off in The Dr. Falls. She calls the 12th Doctor an ass, and the first Doctor briefly emerges from his TARDIS to threaten her with a spanking if she keeps up with that naughty talk, once again leaving the 12th Doctor mortified at his early behavior. 1 pours the captain another brandy and heads out even as Bill seems to turn to glass. 12 takes weak for a moment. Dying and then coming back to life but refusing to regenerate takes a physical toll after a while. The first Doctor admits he's afraid to regenerate, but before 12 can say why he's afraid, laser bolts rain down on them from a tower. It's the doctor's friend. He allows himself to be scanned and the shooting stops. That's because his friend will want to get an up-close and personal look at him while he's dying.
Yes, it's true what they say. Strangers wish you well, but your friends and family wish you harm.
In the TARDIS, the captain's hands are shaking. At the moment of his death, he wasn't afraid. He was worried about how his wife and his son will take his death. Now that he's not in the moment, he's afraid again. In an excellent speech and the best acting in this episode, I believe, the captain explains how hope can fill you with terror. He's then shocked by the glass woman in front of him. The doctor heads up into the tower, leaving one behind, lest he die twice and Paradox destroy the universe. The glass woman exits the TARDIS. At the top of the tower, 12 calls the tower's occupant a legend. As the first doctor finds the remain of a Dalek eye stalk, the glass woman is upon him. 12 admits most people don't believe that the occupant is a good Dalek. No, the doctor is a good Dalek. It's Rusty, last seen in Into the Dalek. It's a nice callback, as I'd been left wondering if we'd ever see him again, but it's a bit of a pointless cameo. This part could have easily been played by any number of newer established aliens. Also, I don't feel like we needed the scurrying Daleks at all. Oh, it's Bill. If Rusty wants to watch him die, he needs to stop shooting. Rusty ejects its gun stick.
L'chaim. Henceforth, the Doctor will be known as the Moyle.
Bill knows he's the first Doctor. Why did he run away and steal the TARDIS? What was he looking for that he couldn't find on Gallifrey? Rusty explains he's spent billions of years killing other Daleks. The Doctor needs him to access the Dalek database to trace the glass woman. Why? Because any help to the Doctor hurts the Daleks. The first Doctor left Gallifrey to understand, why does good conquer evil? Why is the balance between good and evil maintained? This doesn't make up for all the bad jokes and poor writing the first Doctor has endured, but this is a pretty great scene. The best one the first Doctor has in this special. The first Doctor simply wants to know why, when evil seems more powerful, does good prevail. Bill thinks it might just be down to one man going around doing good. She explains they needed to understand him, as a hugging Bill turns translucent. The woman is a professor on New Earth. Is Bill a spy? No, she is Bill. But she is also a part of testimony. Testimony takes people at the moment of their death, records their memories before returning them. The glass avatars allow the dead to return and share their wisdom and knowledge. The Doctor's stunned. This isn't evil. However, time freezes again. The glass avatar becomes Bill, but that's the point. She is Bill's memories. All anyone is can be defined by their memories. She asks the Doctor why he doesn't want to regenerate, and 12 believes there must be an end to everything sooner or later. What about the Captain? He must be returned to the moment of his demise. The Doctors will return him. When both Doctors were considering dying at the same point in time and space, it created a paradox that deposited the Captain at the South Pole. Both TARDISes return to the frozen battlefield. When time restarts, the Captain will forget this journey, and the Avatar and Doctors will become invisible to all here. He accepts his fate with solemn dignity. He does ask the Doctor for a favor. Will he check in on his family for him? Their last name is Lethbridge Stewart. The first Doctor assures him that's a promise he's going to keep.
Mumsy, that strange man is looking in on us again. 4 rounds rapid, dear. We'll get him this time.
And I have to call out Mark Gatiss for giving a wonderful performance here. The best in the episode and a huge improvement over his cheesy appearance in the Lazarus Experiment. Understated but emotional. Sad but proud and always dignified. Sort of a proto-brigadier, embodying the traits that will one day mean so much to his son and granddaughter. Time restarts. He and the German soldier cock their guns when they hear the Germans singing a Christmas carol. Then, both sides are singing. This is 1914. The Christmas armistice. For one day, German and British soldiers stopped fighting and just celebrated Christmas. The Captain blows a whistle, and medics come to rescue the German soldier and himself. Yes, the universe is harsh and unkind, but that's why it needs the Doctor. One is ready. Will 12 regenerate as well? Well, one will have to find out on his own someday. The first Doctor returns to his TARDIS, and as he heads back to Ben and Polly on the moon, he falls to the floor to regenerate into the second Doctor. Bill and the Doctor return to the TARDIS. She says that the hardest thing about knowing the Doctor is letting go. Bill wouldn't say that. She is Bill. She's all of Bill's memories. and she's going to show him just how important memories are, and kisses him on the cheek. He closes his eyes, and a moment later hears a familiar voice. Clara. She's back. His memories of her have been fully restored. Although this does remind me of when Matt Smith regenerated and he and Jenna Coleman were clearly filming at different times. I'm sorry they couldn't get Jenna Coleman in to film with Peter one last time, as this is a pretty touching moment. I just would have liked to have seen them in the same shot. Bill is joined by Nardole. Oh, great. Nardole and Bill suggest he go on living, but he's exhausted. His life is so lonely and hard. Everyone else just falls away. His life is a battlefield, and he's the only survivor. He thanks them for their companionship, but the next journey he takes alone. They share one more group hug, and then Bill and Nardole disappear. The Doctor enters the TARDIS and sets it in flight. The ship seems to talk to him. Yes, he knows the universe will get it all wrong without him. Oh, what the heck. One more lifetime won't kill anyone, except 12. He offers his words to the next Doctor, and Peter Capaldi has been on autopilot for this episode. It's been the usual Doctor Who stuff from him. Good moments such as his farewell to the first Doctor, and roll the eye moments like reminiscing with Rusty. Here with this farewell speech, he gets to shine as his Doctor spells out who he is and who he hopes the next Doctor will continue to be. Never be cruel. Never be cowardly. Hate is foolish. Love is wise. Try to be nice and kind, and don't tell anyone your name. No one will understand except the children. Laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. 12, let's go. The regeneration nearly destroys the TARDIS, but the Doctor is now a woman. Oh, brilliant. She touches the console and things begin to blow up. The TARDIS tilts and blows her out of the open doors into the sky. Horrified as a burning TARDIS disappears, the 13th Doctor falls to her doom.
A woman tried again, really?
Well, unfortunately, Twice Upon a Time was not the humdinger the 12th Doctor deserved to go out on. Despite an excellent performance by Mark Gatiss and a touching farewell speech by Peter Capaldi, it was, well, frankly, boring. I give Doctor Who Twice Upon a Time 2 TARDISes out of 5. Appropriate. Say, reviewer. Yes, Jamie. You think you'll ever regenerate again? Well, I don't know, Jamie. I realise that you know who needs a bit of an overhaul now. Whether that means a new format for these reviews or even a new host, I can't say right now, but it is a pleasure producing these reviews for you to watch. And a very, very happy 2018 to all my audience. Until next time, I'm the reviewer, and this is You Know Who!